So in the last quarter of 2024, I did two presentations. One was called Is Barbados the New Gateway to Africa? And the second presentation was called Divided. So today I'm following up on those videos that I did, and today this video is Divided Part 2. So in those videos, we pretty much spoke about what most people think is an attempt to keep the Caribbean and African nations disconnected, to divide us and to keep us from having free flow of people, goods, and services between the Caribbean and Africa. In one of those videos, the one is Barbados, the gateway, the new gateway to Africa. We spoke about the Prime Minister of Barbados, the Honorable Mia Mottley, and her ambition to open up Barbados, to make Barbados like a gateway between the Caribbean and Africa. And that is something that I know is a passion of hers and something that she's working on. Well, in some of those videos, we've got some negative reaction, a bit of a pushback. People think that this is a conspiracy theory, that this is a figment of our imagination, and there's no attempt to pretty much keep Africans from traveling to the Caribbean and to keep Caribbean nationals from going to Africa as much as they want to. So this video is, I'm bringing facts, I'm bringing information, I'm bringing details that's researchable. You can see this information online of the attempt to keep the Caribbean and Africa divided. When we talk about keeping countries divided, we're talking about countries, people in these countries that don't have the ability to get up whenever they want to and to go from point A to point B. So to go from like Jamaica to Ghana, to go from Barbados to Nigeria, that is what this is all about. So keeping us divided, we don't have the ability to just get up and to go where we want. So for the purpose of this presentation, I'm going to be using 4 countries and 2 countries in Africa and the 2 countries in the Caribbean with the most black population. Two countries or 2 islands in the Caribbean with over 90% of the population is black. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to go with Jamaica first. So Jamaica, up until 1962, Jamaicans were able to travel to most countries in the world without a visa. After 1962, Jamaica gaining independence, Jamaican backing out of the federation that the British government set up to form a federation between all the Caribbean islands to make it one voting bloc. Since that decision that was made in 1962, Jamaica became one of the Caribbean islands with the worst passport in the Caribbean. So just to give you an example, St. Kitts and Nevis, one of the best passports in the world, with St. Kitts and Nevis, a passport from St. Kitts and Nevis, you have the ability to get up and just to go to at least 85 countries, 80 to 85 countries worldwide. You get up, you don't need a visa, you buy your ticket, you jump on a plane, and you're gone. In Jamaica now, Jamaica, which is considered the worst passport in the English-speaking Caribbean, you only have access to 87 countries. And one of the things with that is that if you look within the fine print also, it is not even 87 countries. So let me explain to you. So there are different type of visas that are required for Jamaicans. And one of the things is that what people don't realize, we look and we see 87. You can go to 87 countries without visas. So, but the fine print, when you look into the fine print, it's only 58 countries that Jamaicans can actually go without a visa. And then there's also 27 countries that you can go, but it's called visa on arrival. The problem with visa on arrival, though, visa on arrival is a very risky thing that you're doing. You are pretty much buying your ticket, jumping on the plane, and you are leaving it up to those officials to say like, look, you can land in our country. So visa on arrival, which Jamaica had a program between the British government after Jamaicans were not allowed to go to the United Kingdom anymore without a visa. Before the visa was implemented, they had visa on arrival. So this process is that you buy a ticket in Jamaica, going to the United Kingdom, a very expensive ticket. Some people would have to sell their cars or whatever back in the 90s, 80s, 90s. You buy your ticket, you go to the United Kingdom, and once you get to the airport and you start talking to the officials, the immigration officials, they have the power to put you on the next plane and send you back to Jamaica. So that's the risk with the visa on arrival. And then, so Nigeria passport, one of the worst passports in Africa, where you only have access to 45 countries. So Jamaica and Nigeria, with those passports, you don't have free access to travel wherever you want, whenever you want, and how you want. And one of the things that is important to point out also is that most of these countries, the Jamaica, what it says like 87, and the Nigeria, 45 countries that you can travel without visas. What you have to keep in mind also is that most of these countries that you would have to travel to, you would only have access to these countries if you enter from a gateway city. Most of these gateway cities are in Europe, Canada, and America. So without a visa, you're not getting to most of these countries. So in reality, Jamaicans can only travel to most of the Caribbean islands without a visa. And that's about 22, 23 different Caribbean islands. But to get to some of the other places, to get to places like Ghana, to get to places like Nigeria, if you are Jamaican, even though it says you don't need a visa, you're going to have to get a transit visa to go through one of these gateway cities, whether it's Toronto, whether New York, whether London. You're going to have to get a visa, and people are being denied even transit visa. So number two, the other two countries. So the other two countries now, we are talking about Haiti and we're talking about Ghana. So Haiti, pretty much, I would say Haiti has pretty much the worst passport. I don't think it gets worse than this. For Haiti, you only have access to 49 countries visa free. And for Ghana, it's 96. It was upgraded in 2024, where now you have 96 countries where you have access to with a passport from Ghana. But same thing apply, the same thing with Jamaica. Ghana, there are a lot of cities, a lot of countries where it's visa on arrival. So the same thing that I explained with the Jamaican passport is that if you are in Ghana and you want to go to certain countries, chances are you can be turned back when you get there. And that is the worst thing. It's one thing to go to an embassy and to be denied a visa, but visa on arrival, you purchase your ticket, you fly out and you go to that country and they put you on another plane and send you back to your country. It doesn't get worse than that. So this is what, I tried to explain in some of those videos that we did the last quarter of 2024, that why is it that the countries, African nations, most of the African nations need visas to go to half of the countries in the world. And the countries that you don't need visa to go to, you have to transit through Europe or North America, Canada, and the United States of America. Why is it that if you're coming from any of the 44 countries in Europe, you pretty much have access to every single country in the world? Like if you're coming from Europe, you're not having a difficult time coming to the Caribbean, going to Barbados, going to St. Vincent, going to Jamaica, going to Trinidad. Coming from any of those 44 countries from Europe, you just purchase your ticket and you fly to where you want to be. And it is kind of crazy that 44 countries in Europe, and all of these countries have more access to Africa than even African countries have on the continent. There are countries in Africa that are next door to each other that need visa to visit each other country, while you can go from Europe to any of these African countries. I've heard people that live in Ghana, for example, someone that live in Ghana and they want to go to Kenya. And even though there's not the visa requirement, you have to go to, like, I think I heard someone said they had to go to Portugal or somewhere. So from Ghana to go to Kenya, they had to fly to Portugal or I think France, and then from France to Kenya. So it is just crazy that even within the continent, there's no connection right there where you can just fly from one country to the next. And, when we talk about keeping us divided, this is what we're talking about. And I hope for the day when, like for Barbados, for the vision that the Prime Minister of Barbados have, that one day there will be a flight established in Barbados where you can jump on a plane from Barbados and go to Ghana. You can fly from, say, like St. Kitts and Nevis, from St. Lucia, from Trinidad to Barbados, and then connect to Ghana. That is what I hope to see. And I know there are more connectivity in Africa now than ever before. There are airlines, African airlines, like South African Airline and other airlines that are connecting Africa. But I hope for the day when the entire continent is connected, that if you're flying from Ghana, you can go straight from Ghana, to, say, Nigeria. You can go straight from Ghana to anywhere in Africa. If you want to go to Botswana, if you want to go just pick any country on the continent, you can fly from one major city in an African country to a next African country without transiting through a European country. So for those who think that this is a conspiracy theory, and for those who are saying that, why would people from the Caribbean want to go to Africa? At least we should have the option. Why would people from Europe want to go to Africa? We saw in Ghana the other day where most of the new immigrants, now people that are sworn in as new resident to Ghana, a lot of these people are coming from Europe, they're coming from India, they're coming from China, they're coming from all over the world. So if I don't get it, I don't understand when people have a problem with Caribbean people that want to explore Africa, not necessarily move, but you want the option to say, like, look, if I'm traveling, I should have an option that, okay, I don't have to go to Dubai, I don't have to go to France. What if I want to go to Ghana? What if I want to go to Gambia? What if I want to go to Rwanda? We should be able to travel in Africa also. And that is the point of this. Why are they trying so hard to divide us? Why is it so difficult? Even if you want to, there are cases where I saw this gentleman from South Africa, I think South Africa, the bishop. I featured a video of him the last time. And in order to get to Jamaica, he had to go to about 5 different countries in order to not use one of those North American or European transit route. You'd have to go to Panama, you'd have to go to Dominican Republic, and it is just all over the world. And it is crazy in 2025 that we can't just connect without using a European city or a North American city as a gateway city. And that is the point of this. So guys, sound off in the comment section. Let me know, what do you think about this? Do you think it's about time that the African nations and Caribbean nations, and I would put in the mix also, Latin America, South America, that we should be able to connect with each other without going through North America or through Europe, that we should have the ability to chart our own destiny, to get up and say we want to go to here or here, and we don't have to depend on North America to say, like, we need a transit visa. We don't have to depend on countries in Europe to say we need a transit visa. Sound off in the comment section and let me know what you think about this. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. And remember, peace. I'm out.